Oh, I was about to be like super forgetful for something that I was about to say also about the whole concept of hacking. Now, um, related to hacking, and I know a lot of people are against hacking and whatnot and this and that, and it's taking the fun out of the concept of the game of Pokemon and whatnot. And generally, this has had to do with every particular game that's ever existed in the confines of Pokemon or any game related that had hacking done to it or any other game, saying like Call of Duty or anything like that. But generally, I get it when it comes down to the point of, well, one, people hack Pokemon just to get Pokemon faster and easier, to not breed for the Pokemon, but basically put what they need to have and already have it set and ready to go. And majority of those people who do something like that is for content create, and it's for content to put on the channel, to do that for content to put on the channel. A lot of people probably breed for their mons to use it for content to put on the channel. One does it the faster way of doing it, one does it the harder way of doing it, the longer way of doing it. And overall, depending on how the content plays out, you're getting probably not as the same thing, but maybe the same thing, depending on what it is. But you also have to understand this. Majority of the people who hack their mons usually use it for content on their channel. If they don't use it for content on the channel, they probably use it for everyday Wi-Fi battles that you end up getting into or something like that. Now, here's a thing like how Verlisify said, its majority is to, you shouldn't be hacking the game. You shouldn't use a third party to hack the game. You have to do everything from bottom to up. And again, from a Gen 1 person to another Gen 1 person, that will be the more truth to it. If this was Gen 1, Gen 1 would be completely different. Because overall, hacking the Mon to make it be better wouldn't be, really wouldn't you wouldn't be able to do it, because the way the software is set up, you won't be able to actually hack the game in such a way where you can make the Pokemon better in a Wi-Fi battle. Yeah, there's probably a way, but you have to have the actual hackable code hooked up thing to it to do that. You have to have like a Game Shark or whatever. But since you're in a situation where Game Shark doesn't apply to Gen 1 anymore or any other game entirely, nothing has a third party software that will mess around with Gen 1 or the Gen 2 particle games, and it's not even Wi-Fi related, it's more of a wireless related setup. It's like, okay, well, now people can actually have fun playing the game for what it is without having to hack their mons and modify the mons easier. and faster. You have to literally level up, train your mon. There you go. Put the vitamins on there. There you go. You want this for this set of stats to be boosted with the vitamins. You want this to be boosted with the vitamins. You want that to be boosted with the vitamins. And there you go. You got it all maxed out. You're good. That's pretty much how it's supposed to be from Gen 1 to Gen 2. And then ever since Gen 3 was a thing, Gen 3 ended up being where you had to be, okay, IVs is a thing, this is a thing, that's a thing, abilities are a thing. This is where we're going to get started into the competitive scene of Pokemon. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of hacking. I get it. There's that. That's the start of hacking mons to getting them faster, the right nature, the right stats, this and that. I get it. But you didn't have to deal with that in Gen 1 or Gen 2. So, regardless of the fact that hacking is bad, unless you're notifying the other player beforehand, if it's alright to use set mods and hacking wise, particularly to the battle, and they can say yes or no to, is one, they know the stats are balanced out and they are meant to be played on Wi-Fi currently. They could, I guess, get through the hack check if that's the case. One of those things. There's so much thought into that. It's like, okay, but a lot of majority people are more concerned about the whole Pokemon tournaments that always go on, the national tournaments. I get it. There's rules set saying you can't use hack mods. But when you're battling other people and they're using hack mods and you don't know they're using hack mods, they don't tell you, oh, well, you didn't say anything about if that was in the rules you could use hack mods. Honestly, I feel like in the whole concept of this, it's more of a communication problem. To communicate with your opponent to let them know, oh, this is gonna go down, or that and that is gonna go down. If that's the case, if it's a communication problem with you and your other opponent, you and the other player, you need to get that sorted out. And it's not all about the fact that, oh, this person hacked. It's more of the communication between you and the other player. That needs to be sorted. So, again, I do condone hacking when it's a point of content use. I do accept it because it's generally because I can. But when it like another stream that I watched recently where Duncan also said on the stream, because he doesn't use hacking when he's doing tournaments with the company of Pokemon. If you're not, and he's following the rules with set entitlement. Now, if he's doing that within that set entitlement of, okay, I'm going to follow the rules of Pokemon Company about the tournament to not use the hacking mons that's in the game, he's doing the great job of doing so. And everybody should follow that rule of not to use hacking mons during the tournament. Now, again, people who did use hacking mods in that tournament, yeah, they should be banned. They should totally get their stuff taken away from them. It's that simple. That's that point where it's like, okay, you consider that bad because they use hacking mods during the tournament. If they weren't using hacking mods during the tournament, then there you go. They didn't use hacking mods during the tournament. Again, it's just one of those things where I feel like, okay, well, if hacking was that issue of a problem with hacking mods and whatnot, it's more likely because of the fact that, one, they did it in a tournament and they know they were going to get paid if they won. They hacked because they wanted to get paid in that tournament. And that's what they shouldn't have done. So they tried to cheat during a tournament. They need to get banned from that tournament. They need to get kicked out. That should happen. Now, in a non-tournament situation, where it comes to the point of using hackable mods in a non-tournament situation, there shouldn't be an issue with using set hacking mods that's not in a set tournament situation, having to do with an official set tournament, quote unquote. That's basically what we need to separate that point for hacking, right? And then there's also the fact of legendaries as well, because again, there is that whole concept of that shiny lock thing. If there's shiny lock, there's shiny lock. You can't get them until they actually do an event that makes them unshiny locked. Or eventually, once a brand new game comes out and they're bringing back some of these Pokemon into that game, where you have to shiny hunt these Pokemon and they will eventually become shiny. Like Lugia. Lugia is not shiny locked. You could get a shiny Lugia through Silver, Gold, Crystal, the remakes of Silver and Gold, and in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remakes, you could get the shiny Lugia and shiny Ho-Oh. It's when you know those two Pokemon are not attained, that could be attained by shiny hunting, because they're unlocked as shiny forms, they're allowed. You can allow people to like that to use those particular mods, because you can't get them. You could get them like that without having to hack the game, and then they could be usable in a situation doing a competition. But again, any modifications that are did with these Pokemon, yeah, you will get banned. Again, for the fact that if it was in a non-tournament situation and you gone through this with set people that you're trying to battle with, because you had that communication and they say, yeah, go right ahead. Then you have the battle, you had it for the content, or you didn't have it for the content, it was just a friendly battle, and it ended up the way it ended. Now, again, all it has to do is communication. So, to understand the whole hacking situation. So, this is basically what this video is titled, even though I just did an update. This is explaining the area where everybody has an issue with about hacking, is to understand the continuity of, not the continuity, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but to understand the hacking with playing with friends and the hacking to deal with tournaments, an official tournament per se. For a Pokemon official tournament, you should not be hacking. because it says it in their rules to not hack. Hacking with friends, at least you tell your friend that, oh, I'm gonna hack set Pokemon to use to battle you. Is it okay? Once you have that communication with your set friend, your set opponent, everything should be fine. If they said no, use legit Pokemon, then you use legit Pokemon. You end up going to the point of breeding whatever Pokemon that you need, how long or however it takes to breed set mons. You might have to buy a whole new game and show that you bought a whole new game so you could actually breed legitimate Pokemon legitimately, so they know that you didn't hack your mons. That's one way of doing it, and also recording it that you're breeding the Pokemon so you can get official legit Pokemon without hacking. Another thing that will be allowed to let everybody know that, okay, I did this legitimate without hacking, and that's what I got. Too bad, it's pretty bad, it's pretty good, semi okay. Let's just see what it does in a battle. Again, a lot of people feel like as long as they're not outrageously hacked, then you should be fine to do a Wi-Fi battle with them. That's why people say like, oh, if it does go through the Wi-Fi thing, if unless it goes through Wi-Fi, like through BattleSpot, as long as it goes through BattleSpot, then they're legit. They pass through the whole hacking check. As long as they say it's passed through the hacking check, then that means, okay, they did the Pokemon right to the point where it looked like it was bred right. Then fine, go ahead and use the Pokemon. But again, it's all about communication of knowing what's right and wrong about the hacking situation. So that's basically the whole concept. This is the whole thing I'm talking about the video, to understand the communication between hacking and Pokemon. If you guys enjoyed this, I'm pretty sure you probably don't enjoy this, but just, comment, share, let me know. Like it, dislike it. It's up to you guys. I mean, I'm just trying to put my 2 facts into it. I'm trying to put my opinion into it. If you want to put your opinion into it, if you want to comment about how you feel about Verisify, feeling about this, or how Dunking, I forgot the 2 other parts, but you know who Dunking is. If you feel like either one of them are right or wrong about the situation, if you want to just share my video to them about this situation, because I'm pretty sure from understanding from where Duncan is, I understand where Duncan is coming from. But I also understand the concept of how Verisify feels about it as well. So if you want to share that between the two, share it between the two. And if they agree or disagree, or because again, it's not that I'm putting them like out there for situations that I know, again, people have drama, but over a little hacking of the game that's been here for like 20 years, and there's been hacking going on probably for every other game that's ever existed, and there's been no communication with the issue of that. That's the problem. There's no communication. So, again, just let me know. And just, I feel like, again, share this with both of them. Let them know that that's how I kind of feel about it. And I understand from both of their sides about the situation. But again, it's always the fact that no one communicates with you guys on that subject in a more civilized situation, just communicate. That's all. That's all you have to do. It's basically like a relationship. Just communicate. You know, if you're gonna rent, I'm gonna rent about that. At least I have a legitimate reason to rent between both of you guys, and vice versa. You know, it's like, again, all you guys complain about is this and this, but you're not communicating over the fact of, one, if you see the logic of your reasoning, where's the problem? If you communicate about the issue, where's the problem? But again, you guys already put yourselves down that deep in the hole to really say, oh, this and that. Again, communication issue between hacking. What's right and what's wrong. See you guys.